Welcome to the SVG TV News for Friday, December 2nd. I am Calypsonian with the details. Minister of Education Curtis King has expressed concern for the lack of respect being shown to the teaching profession in recent times. Addressing an award ceremony on Thursday at the Young Island Resort for 12 retired principals hosted by the Primary Principals Association, Minister King says there is no single cause for the state of affairs.
I make the point all the time. There are several reasons. We have to, however, address those reasons over which we have control. And as a body, we have to, and hope you don't mind me saying we, because I always consider myself an educator, but certainly we have to attempt and do all within our powers to arrest this slide. And you, as retirees, quote unquote, you're in a good position, to help us to arrest this slide. You know why? You have done it all. And you are in a position now where you're looking in. But you are looking in after gaining so much experience. So you are looking in now as experts. And it is for us at the Ministry of Education level, and for you also who believe and know that given your young age, and some of you look really young and June, you still have the energy to make that contribution.
Minister King says within the teaching fraternity there are still too many who display a lack of professionalism that impacts on how others see them in the community.
Habitually late, habitually absent. Just last week, and I noticed because he stood up, didn't get a chance to solve it before. Noticed Deputy Chief is here, Dixon. Going through some things. And they're jumping out at us. A teacher is on 5 days sick leave. Reason? Common cold. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And I'm only raising that one because that is the last one I've seen. But we have these issues, and you, as principals, you know them. I remember, and those former officials and present officials of the Ministry of Education, I talk to these things all the time. I know as a principal too, I try to do some things. I remember refusing to sign sick leave form. Yes. Not because I thought I was a doctor, but because I was given advance notice of the illness of the particular teacher. And therefore I was not going to be party to it. Unfortunately, despite the fact that I tried my best to deal with it, I was still pulled over the course by my Ministry of Education. But because they were saying I'm not a doctor, that's true. But I think when you're in a position to see that something is fraudulent, you must deal with it.
The Education Minister said persons in the ministry also have to play their part in helping to change the narrative and bring the education system to the level that it needs to be.
I'm going to say that we are perfect. And those who know me know I always am introspective and self-critical. And I know we have a lot more to do to bring us up to that level where we can feel comfortable. We're not at that level. But I am saying always, and those in the ministry will tell you, and that's why I've given my commitment, especially over this coming year, to commence a process where we seek in material sense, using that term, in other words, to show physical evidence then of the decentralization of the operations of the Ministry of Education. Because we recognize that we have to be in the schools. That's right. We have to be there to lend support to what is happening. And we also have to be there, we have to say it, to ensure that our teachers stay in line too. Because I'm telling you, we are at a stage in our development where it is not the run-of-the-mill sort of operations that existed before. Our students, they are smarter, and they are going to challenge you or challenge those who remain in the system as teachers. But too many of our teachers have to avoid missing what I call opportunities for learning, teaching and learning when these sort of things happen.
There has been an increase in HIV/AIDS testing among young people and the LGBTQ population in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is according to AIDS coordinator for public sector entities with the National AIDS Secretariat, Winfield Tanis Abbott, who was speaking on NBC Radio's face-to-face program today. Tanis Abbott said these key groups have been testing more than the heterosexual population.
We now have a new tester by the name of Carly Grant, and what we have been noticing is that persons from key population, they are coming to be tested more than those from the heterosexual population. And what they have been doing, so if one person comes today to be tested, what he or she will do, by tomorrow we will see 10-15 persons coming. And also we're noticing that when young persons come to test, they're bringing their parents as well. So we're having more like that. It's like a daughter in a family will bring her brother, then you will see her mother is there as a support. And sometimes the mother eventually will say, you know what, let me take the test to show support with you in the event of the outcome of the result. So we have seen key population from the LGBTQI plus population, especially the males and females. We have been seeing more young people coming in droves to be tested.
Which is great.
And that has been happening because we are always using our social media and we are always using everything to make sure that people come to be tested.
But why is it?
Social worker in the Ministry of Health, Roselle Solomon, says although there are over 800 positive cases registered in the system with HIV/AIDS, persons must be mindful that there is a population of persons living with the virus who are not in the system, and hence she is appealing to everyone to take necessary precautions.
Must be mindful that those are the individuals who came forward for testing.
Yes.
And we need to be mindful that there may be also a population that does not test. So definitely we are encouraging individuals who have not been tested to be tested, because sometimes early in the epidemic, when I just started working in HIV, there was the thought that even if you have X amount of individuals positive, you always need to have that multiplication factor, because you never know what the population is, the reality of the population. So yes, people are taking medication, they're coming to clinic, they're virally suppressed. The virus is so low in their system that it's not really affecting, and that's what we want. We want people to come to clinic, but we want individuals, we want the nation to understand that you have a part to play in this as well. Stigma and discrimination is a big block to why individuals do not access care. And that's what Equalize is about as well. Addressing stigma and discrimination, not just in the public, in the healthcare setting. We want people to feel comfortable coming and asking for a condom.
There are several testing sites in and around Kingstown and across the country where persons are encouraged to visit so you can get your visit and get tested. That is, so you can know your status.
It used to be called Pit Stop Restaurant at the bottom of Grammar School. We are 451 to 489. You can go to the ID clinic. Roselle may tell you that number down there. They do testing on Thursdays, but you can get a test done any time of the week once you go. We do testing every day. And if somebody comes at 6:30, we will stay there to do testing. If a group who doesn't want people to see them come and they said we want to have tests done at 7 o'clock, we are going to stay there at 7 o'clock, because I always believe for you to know your status, you must be tested.
And that is by that whole, that's the building just across from
below GHS.
Below Girls High School,
Yes,
Grammar School,
yes.
before the
In-
small
on-
bridge,
in circle,
before
yeah.
the small bridge going
Yes,
over to prep
yes.
school.
Right.
Yes.
So in addition to that, you do have private labs that offer HIV testing. So individuals who are interested, they too can access the private labs. Also, you have clinics, private doctors who will assist you in getting your HIV test done. So whether you're in the Grenadines or on the mainland, you can go to your service provider, your healthcare provider, and say,
Yes.
I am interested in having an HIV test done. Whether it is through the lab or rapid testing, HIV test is available.
The Christmas road cleaning program started across St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Monday, with about 5,733 persons being hired. As we hear in this report, for the unemployed, it is something they look forward to, and they say they are grateful for the income support.
18-year-old Kimani Richardson, a community college student, is part of the group of 10 road workers who is grateful for the Christmas cleanup program. His group is working on one of the roads in Lomans Leeward.
It's my second time working on the road, but I've been doing it all the time.
Richardson does not see himself working with the road gangs all his life, as his goal is to become a certified accountant one day. And with Christmas just around the corner and college to think about, this youth is thankful for the money he will receive.
You have to get money for go and come back every day. And money for lunch and so it's really helpful. I've been giving all that because Christmas the right day. And I want money for like buy stuff and so.
The 10 workers who are from the West Kingstown constituency said they're all unemployed and looked forward to the 8-day cleanup program, which started on Monday, November 28th.
I don't work. I used to work on cruise ship. I am not a supporter of the government, but I am working with the government. We all have to live. Everybody can vote for the same party. When everybody dead, they dead for themselves. They don't dead for you helping our NDP. Right? And we all have to live and let we brother live.
Workers said they are happy for their group leader, also known as the gang leader, who knew the unemployed in the Lomans Camden Park area and saw it fit to accept their request to be temporarily employed. The Christmas Road Cleaning Project is a collaborative effort between BRAGSA and the Economic Planning Division in the Ministry of Finance. The cleanup program is being done at the cost of an estimated $3 million EC dollars, $500,000 more than last year. 5,733 persons are being temporarily employed across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Larissa Pugsley-Kidd, SVG TV News.
The Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture is reminding all importers of refrigerant gases and any company or individuals wishing to become importers of refrigerant gases used in the refrigeration and air conditioning servicing sector that they must be registered as an importer and obtain a certificate of registration. The ministry says this is stipulated by the Montreal Protocol Control Regulations 2005, and that an import license is also required for each importer, that should be for each import of refrigerant gases in all categories. The application and registration period for 2023 commenced on December 1st and will run through December 31st. The ministry says imports from non-registered importers are prohibited and that a person who contravenes this is liable on summary conviction to a fine of $5,000, and any goods imported shall be liable to forfeiture in accordance with the regulations and may be seized and detained by the Comptroller of the Customs and Excise Department. Applications and registrations are conducted at the Sustainable Development Unit's office, currently located on the second floor of the financial complex. For further information, persons can contact the National Ozone Unit at 485-6992, extension 3621, or 3619. The 2022 Tourism Month of activities will climax here tomorrow with an award ceremony and reception at the Mangoes Restaurant and Bar in Villa. The Ministry of Tourism says tomorrow's event is a toast to the nation's tourism stakeholders and their significant contributions to the industry. The local tourism industry has been plagued by the COVID-19 pandemic over the past 2 years, And the ministry says the awards ceremony and reception tomorrow will give them the opportunity to network with key players and remind one another of the resilience of the local industry and people once they work together. The activities for Tourism Month 2022 were held under the theme Live It, Love It, Embrace It. President of the Calypsonians Association, Earl Cabba Bennett, is once more appealing to Vincentians to get their tickets to support the 10 female Calypsonians who will be competing in the 2022 Queen of Calypso competition tomorrow night. The competition will be held at the Russell's Auditorium at Stony Ground from 8 p.m. On the API's Morning SVG program, Bennett said Dr. Alston Beckett Cyrus will be the guest of honor at tomorrow's event.
It's a CDC. You could check me for tickets. We're trying to have some at Couriers. The Couriers said we could start from today. You couldn't start selling before that. You know, we've been giving away tickets, it's been okay, but I want to take this opportunity to say to SVG on Saturday, October 8th.
Tomorrow? Is it tomorrow?
No, on Saturday, October 8th.
Oh, sorry.
On Saturday,
October 8th, that's
there was a big event.
Yeah.
It happened in Antigua. And you remember
Yes,
right? Where one of our national treasures was he was conferred with an honorary Doctor of Letters by the University of West Indies 5 Island campus. Of course, I speak of the king himself, one of the best Calypsonians in the world, and I have no apologies, no reservation about that. Dr. Alston Beckett Cyrus will be our guest of honor.
Two of the competitors, Colette Shun and Samantha Martin, shared their reasons for entering this year's Queen of Calypso competition.
Small step in the right direction. It's never too late for a scatter or shower, as I should say. And then I always have a belief that you have to believe in yourself. It's only you can do for you. Because that was my first song, but then, you know, while laying down, I said, no, I don't got to reach that stage. So now I'm taking it on a different level because I realize that I should say as a parent, cheering is not easy. Like being a parent is not easy, and I said that this is the first step. So after this, I will join a tent, you know.
This is actually thanks to pointing it out. This is my music production brand, Gemini. So persons who attend the show tomorrow would actually hear my first ever Calypso release. The musical aspect. Besides the singing aspect and the lyrical, they'll hear the musical aspect as well.
The Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands donated 8,000 euros to the Our Lady of Guadalupe home. The handing over took place on Monday at the Professional Secretariat and Consultancy Service building. SVG's honorary consul to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Camille Crichton, said the donation is in keeping with promoting equal rights for women, economic empowerment, and the prevention of domestic violence against women. Crichton said the Lady of Guadalupe Home for Girls requested a grant to continue transforming the lives of suffering and abused young ladies in SVG by providing them with safe housing, nursing environment, and skills training. The honorary consul also acknowledged the late Sister Patricia Ann Douglas for her vision to have a home of this nature established, and noted that the purpose of the donation is to provide psychosocial assessments and interventions for young adults. Director of the Lady of Guadalupe Home for Girls, Dr. Miriam Sheridan, received the check on the institution's behalf. The Lady of Guadalupe Home was renovated after being destroyed by fire on March 30th, 2020.